Hello everyone, my name is Shin Chand. I am the Assistant Secretary Treasurer for the Langley School District number 35. I would like to welcome you all to the budget consultation process and survey for 2024-2025. The Langley School District is honored to operate on the unceded traditional territories of the Matsqui, Kwantlen, Katzie, and Semiahmoo First Nations. Langley School District is the sixth largest school district in the province with over 26,000 students. This represents roughly 4.17% of the provincial total. Langley School District provides services to Matsqui, Kwantlen, and Katzie First Nations, the City of Langley, and also the township. Langley's 2023-2024 amended annual budget expenses totaled $370.7 million. The district employs over 3,800 teachers, support staff, and administrators. How are school districts funded? For the Langley School District and most districts in the province, there are three funds. The operating fund is our main operational funds. Funds are used to support our instructional programs, administration at school and district levels, as well as funds to maintain schools, facilities, and transportation, as well as utilities. The special purpose fund is provided to deliver a specific program or activity. Examples of special purpose funds include school generated funds and other ministry designated programs such as the Classroom Enhancement Fund, Annual Facilities Grant, and Learning Improvement Fund are just to name a few. Then we have our capital fund. The capital funds are used to acquire land, build or construct schools or renovate them, purchase our buses and fleet, and other furniture and equipment. The majority of the funding for the Langley School District is provided via provincial grants to the Ministry of Education and Childcare's funding allocation system. This accounts for almost 93% of the school district's revenue. Also, Langley School District generates local revenue that includes tuition fees from our international student program, facility rentals to the community, as well as daycare sites. We also generate revenue from investments on our investments that are invested with the Ministry of Education and Childcare, and we also have other miscellaneous revenue sources. The Ministry of Education and Childcare operating grants are mainly driven by enrollment. The province allocates grants to school districts on a per student funding allocation system. There's a basic per student amount that each district receives, as well as other unique student amounts that we get on a per student basis. We get, for example, an allocation for Indigenous students, summer school students, English language learning students as well, and for our adult learners. We also receive students with diverse needs funding based on level 1, level 2, and level 3. There are also other factors contributing to the operating grant. These are called unique district geographic factors, the proximity of the school district, climate, rural, and other factors. The Langley School District receives a large majority of its revenue via provincial grants, almost 92.8%, or $269.4 million. A large majority of this is driven by enrollment. The next pocket of dollars is tuition revenue at almost $15.9 million, or 5.5% of operating revenue. This is largely from the international student program. Then we have our other revenue, which is amounts to $5.1 million or 1.8% of the operating revenue. This is mainly made up of facilities rental revenue, daycare rental revenue, and investment revenue, as well as other locally generated miscellaneous revenue. So how does the Langley School District utilize its funds? It can be broken down in two areas, by function or by object. When we're looking at function, we look at instructional areas in the classroom and other educational programs, operations and maintenance of our facilities and grounds. This includes utilities. Then there's the district administration portion, HR, payroll, and other procurement and finance functions, and student transportation. We can also break it down by object, where we look at different salary categories for our employee groups, benefits, and services and supplies. Well, how does the Langley School District utilize its operating fund? We'll look at it by function and benchmark us against provincial average, against all other school districts. Langley School District uses 85.5% in instruction. This is directly into the classroom, which is higher than the provincial average of 82.98%. District administration is 3.26% of the operating budget, which is lower than the 3.9% provincial average. Operations and maintenance is at 10.4%, and transportation and housing is 0.87% of the 23-24 amended budget. So how does Langley School District use a bulk of its operating funding? 91.1% goes directly into salaries and benefits, benchmarks against the provincial average, which is 89.5%. Another 8.9% goes into services and supplies, compared to 10.5% for the provincial average. That 8.9% for services and supplies includes utilities costs, insurance premiums for the school district, dues and fees, utilities, other services and supplies and resources for all our schools. Looking at salary costs for the Langley School District for the 23-24 amended budget, there was almost 61.3% spent on teachers and 13.4% on educational assistants. That's 75% directly into the classroom. This reaffirms the board commitment to allocating resources directly into the classroom. This compares to the provincial average of 59.2 for teachers and 11.8 for educational assistants, for a total of 71%. What is an accumulated operating surplus? Operating surpluses arise when annual revenues exceed annual expenditures. This is an operating surplus. These surpluses and reserves compile over years. How do we use these? What do we use these accumulated surpluses for? These surpluses ensure delivery and maintenance of our educational programs and provide a layer of protection for our operations against any revenue decline that may come up or unexpected expenditures. Also, these accumulated surpluses may be used for one-time expenditures that may arise to balance budgets. Boards will often internally restrict accumulated surpluses for different purposes. A few examples are for technology plans to upgrade our tech in our schools, equipment replacement such as furniture, or in maintenance for fleet, any upgrades that are required at facilities and our sites around the district, student capacity needs via portables, and any other furniture needs for our schools and sites. The Langley Board of Education is committed to being responsible stewards of its resources in making budget decisions which are responsive to the overall district and which support the health and equity of our schools. Following slide walks us through the 2024-2025 preliminary budget process. From January till April, we'll be meeting with our stakeholder groups and partner groups in the district. March, we will be sending out our public budget survey early in March. Also in March, we will receive our preliminary funding announcement for the 24-25 preliminary budget. This will be based on enrollment projections that were sent in to the Ministry of Education and Childcare in February. February to April, we will meet with our central departments and cost centers to build budgets. In April, we will meet with our principals to build all our school budgets. February to May, the district leadership team will be working and developing the 24-25 preliminary budget. We will provide regular updates in the same time period at Finance and Facilities meetings. On May 28th, we will bring to the regular board meeting for first and second readings of the budget bylaw. On June 4th, we will hold a budget open house for our community. And then on June 18th, we will wrap up the 24-25 preliminary budget for third reading of the budget bylaw. This slide will take a look at potential budget issues facing the Langley School District for the 2024-2025 school year. We are on the horizon of the collective agreement bargaining coming back into place for the 24-25 year, as both collective agreements for teachers and support staff end at the end of the 2025 school year. We continue to see supply chain disruptions for many of our commodities that we rely on to run the district. This can be for our maintenance area, for vehicles that are delayed in delivery, also technology and other resources that are required for our schools and facilities. There's ongoing impact of inflation on services and supplies. We see no additional funding coming from the ministry operating grant to offset these inflationary pressures on our services and supplies. Also, the Langley School District is seeing increased enrollment year over year. This has an impact on our facilities, causing capacity constraints in our different pockets of schools in our different areas. Our Willoughby Slope areas seeing enrollment pressure, as well as now the city of Langley area. So this continues to be a potential budget issue. Funding of portable sites is not funded by the ministry, so this will put budget pressure in the future to get these portables in place, as we need more and more schools in our different areas of the district. Exempt and principal raises could be a potential budget constraint. This year they were partially funded. In the 23-24 year, we have not received any indication that these will be funded in the following school year in 24-25. Another potential budget issue is continuing benefit cost increases for different employee groups. Teacher increments are not funded, and we continue to see staffing shortages for certain areas, especially in the teaching area and other specialty areas where we require staffing. This slide shows our key budget timelines. February 27th, we had approved our 2023-2024 amended budget. We will begin our budget consultation process for the 24-25 preliminary budget on March 1st. By March 14th, we should have received our preliminary operating grant announcement from the Ministry of Education and Childcare based on enrollment projections that were sent in for the 24-25 school year in February. March 31st, we'll wind up our public budget survey consultation process. We will take those results and formulate a report and bring it back to the board at Finance Facilities in April. May 28th, we will have our first and second reading of the 24-25 preliminary budget and our 3-year budget. And on June 19th, we will have our third and final reading of our 24-25 preliminary budget and 3-year budget. Langley School District 35 seeks your input in the preliminary 24-25 budget consultation process. How can you get involved? To learn more, visit our website or email your questions to the budget consultation at sd35.bc.ca email. I thank you for taking the time to view this presentation. We look forward to your input. Thank you.